have you today, and also to really treat you wherever you're watching from. I know that this is impromptu. These days I do some impromptu stuff. And it's good. Hopefully by next week I'll be back in the studio. Operating from the studio. Right now I'm not in my location, so I the other time I was trying to show you guys my environment, anyways, but. Today we're just going to go straight to the business for today, and basically I want to have a particular narrative today. I want to have that narrative stored in your heart and help you to begin to rethink your stance and your behavior, your action, and your attitude and everything that you represent. I want to welcome you to this program, this broadcast. Today, my name is Kelechi Ambrose, and of course, as usual, this is Biafra Global Network, and of course, the platform where we speak the truth, and always we speak the truth and nothing but the truth, always standing on the path of truth, and at the same time, trying to see that we instill the notion of truth, just like what Mazin Amdekan has said, and we are I'm determined to continue in the legacy of Mazin Amikano and awaiting his return, and that's why I am here. And to broadcast, as long as we continue with these kinds of action and behavior, we are far from Biafra. Biafra is not going to be restored. Of course, Mazin Amikano gave us a clue, and when he said that. Now, sometimes when I look at the attitude of Biafrans and the way we behave, sometimes I begin to wonder if we truly want Biafra. If we truly want Biafra, because those who want a thing behave accordingly. Those who are desirous to have some change, expecting to have a particular result in a particular thing or regarding a particular thing, have a way they behave. Now, first, I want to talk to of every Biafrans. Sorry, there. So I want to, talk to the conscience of every Biafran. First, I want you to understand that our freedom is going to come whether you like it or not. But of course, you can't disregard the fact that what we do can delay what we're expecting to get. Now, I'm going to talk about the DOS and also Simon's Rogue team, because these two people are really a very serious problem to us right now, and Biafrans must understand this. But I'm not going to be talking about them today. I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow or so, if hopefully when I have the time and the chance. Now I'm going to be discussing about them because I want Biafrans to understand something. You don't just follow; you follow with reason, your ability to reason, your senses. You follow with your senses. So that was why Mazin and Buchanan always talked about ability to reason, ability to reason. There's so many people Mazin and Buchanan have praised, over time, has praised them, has called them names, told them has said people should follow them, people should listen to them. That is not a lifetime ticket. You should understand this. I want you to understand this. When Mazin and Buchanan says, follow this person, follow that person, follow that person, follow that person, like their stuff and listen to them, it's not a lifetime ticket. You have to understand that. He's not giving them a lifetime guarantee. He only places conditions. He placed conditions to that. He said, as long as they remain on the path of truth. If you remember, he said, if you remain on the path of truth, definitely we are going to always flow together. But if you don't, we're going to give you the IPOB treatment. So which means that when Mazen Amikani says, listen to this person, listen to that person, follow that person, talk to that person, listen to that person, he's saying that on the basis and understanding that as at that time, they are saying the right thing and they are doing the right thing, whether they are pretending or not, as long as what we see is that they are doing the right thing, then we should and follow them and all of that. But now, when they deviate and when they get out of it, then you begin to, then you know what it means, IPOB treatment. That means we begin to, activate every action that will take them away from the path of truth, or sorry, on the path that stops us from continuing the notion of truth. So which means that when they misbehave, they go away from the path of truth, we now treat them accordingly. Now, I want to talk to you first because I have listened to majority of our people. I have listened to lots of our people. I have listened to audios. I have listened to several. There's a particular audio I was listening to this morning. I was pissed. And I remember I have talked with so many Biafrans, and I keep hearing from the same people who are Biafrans that our people are sabo, our people are easy to betray. They can easily betray. And I've come to experience that and know that. First, I want to take your mind to the accountability and transparency group. Before I go into that detail and into that audio that I listened to this morning, and some other audios that I've been listening, because this one today just prompted something inside of me, and what it prompted inside of me is what is influencing my talk, the next talk I'm going to be doing, maybe tomorrow or next on Friday. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to do another broadcast, and I'll be talking about the DOS and talk about Simon's Rogue team. Because that is conversation critically, anyways. What he submitted in that audio was about the DOS, and of course he mentioned some Simon and other things. So I'm going to be doing some stuff about that so that we can be on the right path and understand. But now it's good for me to begin to open the eyes of Biafrans and to tell you the truth. Honestly, any day I decide to tell you lies, let the wrath and the spirit of Biafra depart from me, and let my end begin from that day. Some people, some people are just fighting me for nothing. But of course, I understand. Um, you know, uh, uh, Look at an idiot. An e-frog has come to ask me how many people are listening to me. Do I care whether you are listening to me or not? I'm not doing the broadcast for you to listen to me. So get off here now, right now. Get off. So why are you here? If nobody's listening to me here, you are here listening. And if you don't want to listen, get off. I'm not here for idiots like you. I'm here for serious business. We are serious minded people. We are not here for stupidity and idiocy. If your brain has stopped working, go for therapy. Or you come to me, call me. I'll teach you how to get out of your stupidity and embrace positivity. You think we Biafra project is for nonsense? Come here to tell me how many people are listening to you, idiot. Why how many people? Nobody is listening and you are here. If two is listening, go away so it remain one, idiot. Don't have time for you. Now, anyways, let's go on. I want people to be serious. Be serious minded about your freedom. We have died enough. We have perished enough. We've gone hungry enough. And lots of things have happened to us. But we must begin to do the right thing so that we get the right result. We must do the right thing so that we get the right result. That's the truth. And all those people whose work is who are e-frogs, anywhere they see broadcast, they just jump into. They are frogs anyways. They just jump into it and start commenting out of their senses and out of their shallow-mindedness and stupidity, and curse from the dungeon of their families. When people are cursed, they don't reason anymore. Now, I want to talk about accountability and transparency group. Now, I want you to understand that, when good things want to begin, we would always have a lot of, satanic manipulation coming in between and all of that. And I'll keep telling you in all broadcasts. Anytime I come up for broadcast, the first thing I'm going to be telling you about is the accountability and transparency group. I want you to understand that accountability and transparency group is creating powerful concept that will help to restore and get people free from the and also set a very better template. The worst thing that can happen to a people is to continue to do the same thing that keeps them in the same place and gets the same result always. The worst thing that can happen to people. And I want to tell you, we have been doing the same thing in this Biafra project for a long time. Same thing, same style, same operation. That is stupidity and idiocy. Because whenever you fail the first time, what you do is you go back, you analyze what you have done, and then you look at it. What did I miss, or what didn't I do right? And then you step up, you go again. If you miss it again, you ask yourself, why is it this new strategy or new concept I brought into this stuff didn't work out? And you think about it, you reason again, and you come again, and you put up some stuff, and then you continue. This is how reasonable people behave. This is how professionals behave. This is how people who are ready to move forward behave. Not following like zombie. Anywhere you just go. Somebody says something, you just follow the person. You are an idiot. It's only idiots that don't reason. And there's this animal that is called idiot. Some people don't know where that word idiot came from. There's a particular animal that is called idiot. When it is being chased, it will just run and dig the ground and put its head. Its body is outside, but it thinks it's hiding. That's why it's called idiot. It will think it is hiding because its head is in the hole, not knowing that it is critically, exposed to danger. That's why it's called idiots. So idiots are people who don't reason. I wonder how people will be talking about freedom and they just follow. You see, Oh my God, God help us. Honestly, we are going to get it right. Anyways, I have heard lots of words coming from people who are discouraged about the whole thing that is happening, and I want to encourage you. If you are discouraged, just be strong and all of that. And I want you to understand, accountability and transparency group is one. There's no other accountability and transparency group. And of course, some of you know my face. Some of you know the face of, some of you know the voice of Papa Ijima. Some of you know the voice of Mirugo. Some of you know the voice of Ego. Some of you know the voice of Evangelist Barbara. Once you don't see any of us and some other people like Sami Mwede and other people, there are some people, resolute and Biafra pride, that are resolute, that are standing on the path of truth. That is the original accountability and transparency group that was created and we started. And anything you see again is a spirit of rebellion. Anything you see anywhere, any launching you see anywhere, is a spirit of rebellion. You don't tell people who have misbehaved in a group and then tell them that they are going to go on suspension and they tell you they are no more going to be part of it, they want to withdraw because you told them they are going to go on special suspension. The group agrees, the group discusses. Everybody says you have to go on suspension because of your misbehavior and because of your attitude and actions. And you now say, you want to suspend me. Well, I'm not interested in this group anymore. In fact, I want to go and relax. I don't want to be part of Biafra project anymore. I don't want to be part of it anymore. In fact, my family have been telling me to withdraw. So this time I'm going to withdraw and stay on my own. And suddenly you go up again and you use the same name of the group that wants to suspend you, and you go create the same stuff and begin to publicize it and say that is the accountability and transparency group. You're a rebel. That means you don't have anything to offer. If you begin, anytime you begin anything on the basis of rebellion, you are going to fail. That is why I don't care. That's why sometimes when I see those people fronting themselves as accountability and transparency group, I just laugh. I tell my people, don't worry, they are going to drop. They're going to, it won't fly because you began on rebellion. You built on rebellion. No matter how old you are, if you are told that you have done wrong, you should be humble enough to submit yourself. That is the spirit of leadership. If I am told today that I've done wrong and I'm going to be suspended under the accountability and transparency group, I will not break away. I'll be there, I'll serve my suspension, and I'll come back and I'll apologize where I need to apologize. That's what I'll do. That shows the spirit of humility. That shows the spirit of positivity and the spirit for the future. And that lays the right example for what you think you are chasing, what you are pursuing. Not when you are told that you will be suspended and you have misbehaved, the group says they're going to suspend you, you withdraw, and then you go compose another group and call it the same name of that group to cause confusion. You're a confusionist and you are rebellious. And you want Biafrans to follow rebellious people? It's not possible. Biafrans can't follow rebellious people. You can't, if you want to go away and create another name. Don't cause confusion. Don't create confusion. Accountability and transparency group. Once you don't see me, you don't see Papa Ijima, you don't see Mirugo, you don't see Evangelist Barbara, you don't see Ego, you don't see Sami Mwede, you don't see Biafra Pride, you don't see some of us like that, some of the comrades. Of course, when you see their posts and all of that, we would always like it, we will always share it, I might think I've not been doing that for a while because of where I am. So, but I'll be trying to do that now. Once you see us, you know that this is the true accountability and transparency group that began, not the one that broke off. You don't broke off on rebellion and want to get results. How? When you're rebellious, then who do you want to lead under rebellion, under the spirit of rebellion? Who? How do you want to lead people? It's just like I break off from accountability and transparency group. I go and create another group and still call it accountability and transparency group, causing confusion. And I want people to come and join me. That is rebellion. There's no two ways about it. There are no two words about it. One word, rebellion. There can be other words for it, sabotaging, and all of that. There's so many words that can be utilized for that. Rebellious. You don't break out. If you want to break out in peace. Don't break out in pieces. Not when you are told you are going to be suspended. You now walk away from a group. No. I was telling you guys misconduct. Yes, I admitted I misbehaved and all of that. And I was suspended by the organization, serving that punishment. I stayed there. I was, those days, they'll put you at the back seat. When you come to church, at the back, not where people are sitting, no, at the extreme back, they give you one small chair. You just sit down there. When people are entering, they will see you isolated. Nobody greets you. Nobody shakes your hand. Nobody does it. You are isolated. I stayed in that way for 1 year. For 1 good year. The church says they're going to suspend me. I just walk out of the church. I just go and join another ministry and say, yes, I am, ministry. No, If you belong to an organization, you commit your heart to it, your loyalty should be to that organization. And loyalty does not mean that you lose your senses, you don't have brains anymore, you don't reason. When there's something wrong, you don't say it. When those group of people, were told, they misbehaved under the accountability and transparency group, they were told they were going to be suspended, and they decided to go and compose another group. And some of our people who were there also left the accountability and transparency group to join them, just like that. They just brought one. I remember some few people just brought one particular stuff they wrote out. They just had a private meeting, had listed some stuff about 5 points, 5 or 4 points, and they submitted it to the accountability and transparency group. Said we must implement this. If we don't implement this, then they are going to break away, and they are ready to go media. I'm waiting for their media war. Idiots! I'm waiting for them to go online and start their media war. You think I came for Biafra project to have your time? People that you, if on a normal time in life, what you have done, where you have at what you have achieved, they cannot near it. Where you have entered, they can't near it. They will come and start talking to you anyhow because we are fighting for freedom. Look at some idiots. They'll be calling my name. I don't respond to them. One thing about me is that I don't, when all this their idiocy, I don't respond to it. But once in a while, I need to make a broadcast like this to let people understand what is happening. We have only one accountability and transparency group, and you all must know this. Once you don't see me, you don't see Papa Ejima, you don't see me, you don't see Evangelist Barbara Ego, and Sami Nwede, Biafra Pride, and all these people. If you don't see any of them, just know that that is not accountability and transparency group. When you see any other people, if they like, let them go and design different logos, give it colors, use different color rioting and all of that, and print it and all of that and present to you. That is a rebellious group. If you join them, you are joining a rebellious group, and you can succeed. It's not possible. Biafra was built on truth and transparency, truth and honesty. So you don't become rebellious and think. You can imagine me breaking out of Assembly of God Church then and go to join Redeem, or maybe going to join Christ Embassy and say, yes, that's where I belong. The truth about it is that I'm rebellious. No matter where I am, go back and be humble. Serve your suspension. And then after you serve your suspension, you can live in peace. As soon as my suspension was through, I knew it was time for me to leave. And that was why I just peacefully left, smiling, talking to everybody. I'm leaving. And I left and I joined Church of God Mission. And I was doing, of course, my music stuff I was doing then great time and all of that. That was as far back as 1999, and all of that. I hear 1999, 2000. And I went somewhere else to lay my services because I didn't like the style over in the other place, because they were restricted. They were not allowing people to exude. There's a level you go, they say you are bringing satanic programs. There's a kind of music you play, they say you are bringing satanic program music into the so for instance, you play songs that in those days, anyways, I don't know about now, you play a song of Kirk Franklin, maybe all these crazy songs where you dance and all of that, you stomp and all of that. They say you are bringing worldliness into the ministry, and so it doesn't flow with me. So I had to leave to a place where I can serve very well. So, but I left in peace and harmony. Ask those people who are fronting themselves as accountability and transparency group. Ask them the question: how did you leave the main accountability and transparency group? So please, I don't want you guys to be distracted. I want you guys to be focused. Two, I'm going to be talking about you, especially those of you who all you do is just follow and follow. Just follow and follow. Just follow and follow. I want to tell you, you see, the delay we're having, or the delays we're having in the restoration of Biafra, is because of our idiocy and stupidity. Every one of us. And I alone can't do it. You alone can't do it. We all must do it. We all must be part of it. We all must work towards it. We all must achieve together. And when you begin to follow without thinking, now for instance, let me give you an instance. I don't like talking about them, but let me talk about this, because this is an evidence to all of you out there to be able to understand what you need to understand. And let me give you this instance. Simon said he's organizing a referendum convention. Now, for those of you who don't understand what that means, please, whether from your phone, you can type the meaning of referendum. You can also type the meaning of convention. Then you will have the meaning of the word. Just go to Google and type it. get type the words. The problem is when we hear some stuff, we just overlook it. Just like the other time he said he was going around the world and visiting other people and visiting the platforms, where they have so-called autopilot. I've told people before that autopilot is actually not a people. It is a system. It is a system. It is a function. So, but they call themselves autopilot anyways. Now he said he was going on visual tour. Some of you didn't understand what visual tour is. Some of you thought he was moving from one place to the other, but he was just having video call with the people, the few people he has been able to get on his side. Remember we did Biafra recruitment stuff the other time, where people submitted their CVs to be employed into Biafra work when Biafra is restored. That was the purpose. But what happened is that the election still got the election was held. Then they now begin to get those people into different offices to function when their functionality in those regard will even make no sense, and all of that. The essence of that was that we're going to have, as soon as we stop the election, we're going to have our government, we're going to start operating, and that is when we're going to have a legitimate system of operation, that will help us. And then those people were getting together through that recruitment program will now serve in different offices, and prior to the time we're going to have a formal election in Biafra land. And then of course after we have crossed the hurdle of the after effect of the no election, after we have stopped the election, and then the things that will come after that, and how we have secured our lands, secured our borders, declared no-fly zone, and done all of this stuff. But Simon truncated that. All the monies contributed for that purpose were all gone, are all gone, not where, are all gone. And still today, we still have idiots. As I told you, that idiot, that animal that puts his head in the sand thinking he's hiding, we still have idiots contributing money to him. Now, some people have left. Some people have left the realm of idiocy, and they have escaped that point of being manipulated by Simon and his rogue team with their charms and everything. Now, some of you have stopped giving them money, but now what they have done is that they have started designing programs, giving it some brand name so that it will attract you. They know that when they talk about a referendum, you will jump out, and so they now bring up that stuff, and they tell you that regular is $150, and then we have VIP 250 or so, and like that, like that, like that. Now I was listening to Methuselah the other day, and he was actually talking about this issue of and he was calling. I wish I did the calling myself. I wish I was in his position. There are some questions I would have asked that idiot that was responding to Methuselah, telling him that there are important Biafrans, and so food will be given to important Biafrans based on their ability to pay more and better. Now you know that that money that is going to be contributed. Have you asked yourself the question? They will tell you that they're going to use it to get weapons for years and all of that. But the truth about it is that, how about the monies that have been contributed so far for the stopping of the election? Where are the monies, and what were the weapons used for? Because the main action that was supposed to take place was supposed to be on that day of election, which means that the monies and the resources contributed then would have gotten enough weapons and all of that. So where are the weapons? That means the weapons that are being used for kidnapping and used for programs that will... Now let me tell you something about freedom fighting. Freedom fighting is strategic in the sense that if you don't have a unified structural program for it, you will discover that you are messing up and you are misbehaving. For instance, I've told you people before, you see all this misbehavior, you will hear some people say they are going on operation. You begin to wonder, what kind of operation are they going for? You hear Simon's group say they are going for operation. What are they going? What kind of operation? I keep telling our men, those of them I have contact with, I said, please, for now, there's no operation that is necessary, because all operations now will not tilt towards Biafra. You know why? You need to have a uniform program that would speak of Biafra, that will give you the result, that points to the result. Not standing up today, a group of people say they're going for operation, they go to one checkpoint, kill the soldiers who are there, and then the military will come back, reinforce and come back and begin to kill the people in the community. That is stupidity. How can we continue to do the same thing every time and we think we're going to get results? How can? Is it that we don't reason? What if Simon was reasonable? We would have gotten result, but he was not reasonable, so we don't need him anymore. In fact, for the fact that he has messed up and has got us in this mess that we are in now, and creating tension all over Biafra land today, you see checkpoints everywhere, from almost 1 kilometer or so on the main express, on the main roads. You see checkpoints. Why? because of this criminality, kidnapping, and all of that. And that's what they do. Now they are no more getting monies from fundraising. Now they are concentrating on branding programs and at the same time concentrating on kidnapping. Because what they are doing now is kidnapping business. That's what they are doing now, kidnapping business. And we have evidence of that, of course. We have evidence of that. Of course, we have the audio where, um, was it Success or whoever, whatever his name is called, where he was saying to the ESN people they were having a meeting with. Azuka was in that meeting saying that they should go into kidnapping and make money and raise money. Kidnapping who? Today, the governors, their men are there in their offices. The people they are kidnapping are just people they can access, people whom they should be fighting for. Those are the people they are kidnapping. And this is crazy. It's very, very crazy. Now, kidnapping will not give you Biafra. It will only enrich those who are kidnapping and give them resources in their pockets. That's the only thing it can. That's the only thing it can do, and that's what they are doing. You see those guys now, Success and Chica and all those people. They are building houses everywhere from the proceeds of kidnapping, endorsed by Simon and Azuka, the two generals of the audio Biafra government in exile. But their followers are not asking questions. Their minds are redundant. Their mentality is restricted, dormant, and static. They are not functional. They are not operational. They are just operating on the basis of ignorance. Now, somebody who is reasonable would have asked Simon's questions after that election period when he refused to stop the election, according to what he said, that they're going to stop the election. When he refused to stop that election, reasonable people would ask questions. Why didn't you stop the election, as you said? Why didn't you take action and enforce no election? Because that was why I didn't ask that question. Suddenly he came with the issue of liaison offices, and they have got headquarters here, headquarters there. All those monies you're contributing, let's just assume they have those headquarters. All the monies you're contributing is being used to raise a headquarter, and that money was supposed to be used for weapons. Don't you have sense? You should have asked yourself the question: why are you spending the money that is buildings and structures? He needs administrative building and structures to defraud you further. That is the plan. That is the program. That is his style and his strategy. And of course, from that his room and studio. And he told you he has a liaison office in Finland. He showed you how they have designed it, how they have put this thing. He showed you in the month of June. And this is July, August, 2 months. He's still not broadcasting. He's still not discussing from that liaison office in Finland. Are you not asking yourself questions? Why is he not broadcasting, speaking, talking? Even the Biafra referendum he's talking about, he didn't even stay in that office to tell you and give you information on that. And you are not asking questions. Don't you see that something is critically wrong with you? That's why I want to talk to you. Because you must understand that the reason why we are where we are now is because you don't reason. I'm talking to those who don't reason. Those who reason know what I'm saying. Those who reason know they already asked these questions. The problem is that you don't reason, and that is why I am just making this broadcast very simple. Just bring up things that are happening so that you'll be able to reason. Because I am hopeful that God will help us to liberate the minds of our people so that we'll be able to have formidable people force to join hands and so that we can get results. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. We need to do it together. And that is the reason why I'm speaking and talking. I'm talking not because I just want to talk. Not because it's convenient to always come and talk, but because it is necessary for me to speak and to pass information to your mind realm, and so that your mind can process the information and decode or extract or get to understand the truth from the whole you know oration and all of that. So it is important for you to reason. Now here is the situation, or here is the case. Someone tells you the monies you are given to him, he's going to use them to get weapons to stop the election. And after the election, he doesn't stop the election. What should be the next questions, or the next question you should ask? The next question is, the monies we gave to you, what did you use them for? Because you said you were going to use them to stop the election. Now you didn't stop the election. What are the monies being used for? Suddenly he brings up a distraction. Don't you guys understand? Some of you need to go read the book, the 48 Laws of Power. Go and read that book by Green. 48 Laws of Power. Go and read it. You will know how people manipulate your mind. These are the kinds of thing that one of the laws of power is deception, to deceive, to manipulate. And these laws can also be used in the positive side, but majority of the world empires and the people who control those empires were using them on the negative side. And these are the things you have to understand: the negative side of operation, the negative side of doing what they are doing. Now, you didn't ask yourself the question: these monies we contributed to get weapons, to get RPG, GMPG, to get um, pump action, not pump action, anyways. AK-49, AK-47, get some stuff, some basic. In fact, at the point they told you they're going to get warship, and they told you they're going to get, you know, jet fighters and all of that. Let's just say the monies were not enough to get all of those stuff. But the major things, by now, since the election was not stopped, those things should be piled somewhere. But they keep going on operation, and all they are doing is kidnapping people, using the money that you give to them to buy bullets, to buy some stuff, to go to Juju house to pad themselves up, to go and kidnap and make more money for themselves, building houses, doing some stuff for themselves, and all of that. These are the things they are doing, and you are not asking questions. And because you are not asking questions, they are thriving, they are succeeding, they are continuing, they are bringing out more ideas to enrich themselves. Now they have told you to pay $150, $250. In fact, when you pay $150, you are not important. You are not an important person because you are stupid. You don't have money enough, and so you cannot be given food. Whereas Mazin Amekano himself, organized conventions, programs, and all of that, and he fed people for free. People, nobody was tasked. Only those people where it's been hosted, those people gather and say, we're going to feed the people, and they get things for the people and they feed them. Now here you are, you have someone, who is telling you that he's organizing a referendum convention. You have been contributing to him. He has been kidnapping people, collecting monies. He has been doing lots of atrocities. He's making money here and there from kidnapping, from the fundraising and program they have been conducting and all of that. And they are not able from there to take out money to prepare a meal for everybody. Rather, they collect ticket money from you, and they tell you that those monies will be used for Biafra project, and you're not asking yourself the questions. The ones we contributed for no election, where is the money? Now you're contributing further for Biafra project. If, according to what Simon said, of course, which is true, that the election was an opportunity that if it passes us, stopping that election is an opportunity that if it passes us, then we are not going to, we are going to lose so much. If it passes us, if that election period, if we miss it out, we are going to be messed up. We are going to, it was a very big opportunity. That no election was a very big opportunity, because once you stop that election, it is the vital tool that can help you mesmerize the British and the contraption itself. You mesmerize the politicians, you mesmerize everybody, you stop them, you mess them up, and then get results. Now, someone himself mentioned it one time that this is the very, very good opportunity. Yet, he played on your mind, he played on your intelligence, and he manipulated you, got the monies he got from you, and still he didn't stop the election. What does that tell you? That tells you that he never had plans to utilize the opportunity he talked about for your good. And now he's telling you to contribute more. Now he's telling you to bring money. Now they are tasking you or taxing you to get money from you to attend a referendum convention. And I was telling you guys about a few days ago on Saturday or so, I said if you are organizing a referendum for a nation, then you know that for that referendum, a referendum convention for a nation, then you should know that the United Nations should be present. That means their representatives. The AU, African Union, should have their representatives. The European Union should have their representatives. The BRICS should have their representatives. You should have representatives from renowned organizations of the world. Now they're organizing that kind of stuff. If I want to organize that, I'll do my homework well. That means I'm on the path of truth. If you have truly gone far, as you said the other day, he told you he wrote to the United Nations, he told you he wrote to the BRICS, he told you he wrote to this and that. None of them he told you that they even told you they gave him a response. He was giving you a computer generated response, which is normal. If you go to my group on WhatsApp or where, once you send a message, there's going to be a computer generated response, which I set. You set it, and you can type out the message that you want to go around to the people and all of that. You can type out that message, to be able to get people, to be part of it. and all of that, so that when they come in, when they send messages, that the response will go immediately. He screenshot the computer generated response and sent to you, and you were jubilating that the is it UN or who has responded to Simon, manipulating. Oh my God, I don't know how our people are being manipulated. Well, I told you guys the other time, I said our people are only smart, but they are not intelligent. These are two things. It's one thing to be smart, it's another thing to be intelligent. These are two basic things. So I don't blame them anyways. We need to teach them to be intelligent. Mazina Mikano had helped them to be smart by speaking to them and taught them to be intelligent, but they were not listening to him because they were they were not actually seeing to those facts, because most of the things that Mazina Mikano pointed out that would have helped their smartness, I mean, to become help them to be intelligent through their smartness they already had. They never saw it that way, and they always looked at the um, the um, the other side of it, that is just you know concentrating on the smartness, and that is what happened. So now they were not asking questions, and now he's telling you to pay for a convention. The United Nations is going to be there, which means it is the normal talk and discussion program. That's what it is. The normal talk, discussion, just come out and make some communication, talk, say some stuff. The same thing we keep talking about over. When you go to that convention they're talking about, what they're going to discuss is one, how our people are being killed. Two, the fake program they don't have, that they say they want to have, how they're going to restore Biafra, which they don't have. Three, they're going to talk about what else? Maybe they were going to talk about joining BRICS. Four, they'll talk about funding. People should raise funds and make sure that they continue to contribute, so that these programs that they don't have will come to pass. These are the things they're going to discuss. The same thing over and over, which he has been telling you in broadcast. But if you truly have sense, you would ask him, what is the implication of a referendum convention, in this time, when if you had stopped the election, the referendum itself would have been conducted. So why refuse to stop the election that you promised and collected monies for, and then you now talk about referendum convention after refusing to stop the things we paid you or gave you money to stop? You didn't give accounts. Azuka and Co, Azuka and the husband having the money in their account, you getting your percentage, Erewa and other people getting their percentage. None of you have given account. None of you have given account to the people. You didn't give account to the people. None of you have given account at all. None of you have said anything. You are just spending. You are just telling people to contribute. What kind of nation is that people keep spending and you don't know what they are spending on? They keep telling you that they have done this. The other day he told you that they have gotten so how many $billion health equipment for health, and all of that. They have gotten some billions of dollars. But today, the men are dying. Our men are being killed. Today, we have lots of things going on in Biafra land, yet nobody is experiencing that health impact. There is the materials, the tools he's talking about. Nobody. In fact, the men that are being shot are being treated by kind Biafrans who have their talents, gifts to do that, and some of them have been taken to shrine houses to be treated. The health equipment, the health facilities are nowhere to be found. But he said they have been contributed. Now the same men that he's sending on suicide mission, some of them are being shot, some of them are wounded, some of them are experiencing, some of them are dying. Yet those health facilities are not reaching them. I want you guys to begin to think. The voice message I listened to this morning, was which is an example of what I'm going to be using as a basis of telling people about the other things and other information that they need to know. That voice message was talking about, trying to exonerate some people, saying that, they were asking questions whether Simon was part of those who kidnapped Mazen Namdekano, and he said he's not part of it. But they said someone is, Chike Dozie is a good guy, but China Sanwo is the bad one, and and I begin to wonder how people reason. For God's sake, this is a nation. This is not your private business or private company. Even in your private company, you still have to engage other people to critical thing that is happening or has happened in your company. For instance, money is missing. There are some things you do. There are some things you set. There are some arrangements you do to engage the services of auditors. You get evidences from the workers. You get witnesses. You get exhibits to prove. Now, with that, now you're able to have the committee, the auditor, and all of that do their job well, and then give a result. A nation, sorry, a nation like Biafra, where we have intellectuals. We have few intellectuals because that most of our people are just academicians. They're not intellectuals. So we have so many professionals. Who is this guy making noise here? We have so many professionals. Don't mind that noise, please. Just concentrate. We have so many professionals. You cannot compose a fact-finding committee to find out what happened to Mazin and Kanu. You're coming to tell us this person has a hand in it, that person has a hand in it, and all of that. What's nonsense? Are we children? Are we babies? Are we stupid? You're coming to tell me what you think, what is on your mind. That is not, it doesn't make sense. A fact-finding committee will get your evidence, since you are claiming to have an evidence. Get your evidence, get my evidence, get other evidences from other people, and bring them together, and then do their homework. That is what they are paid for. That is what they are constituted for. And when they do homework, they will be able to know whether the evidence I brought is real, whether the evidence you bring is real, whether the insinuations I have is true or real. They will make because they are professionals. I've suggested this to the DOS, and I'm still waiting for their response. Till today, look at people who claim they don't have a hand in the kidnap of Mazin Amikano. Yet they are finding it hard to set up a committee, a fact-finding committee, for the purpose of finding what happened to the leader of a nation. This is what Biafrans should be talking about. Now you are talking about all of you are talking about this one being killed here, that one being killed here, referendum convention, and all of this. All of this stuff will not be necessary, and all these killings will not happen if we have found out those who betrayed Mazin Amikano. Let me tell you something. Those who betrayed Mazin Amikano have a hand in what is happening right now, and of course in conjunction with those who, afterthought betrayal, people like Simon, afterthought betrayal. I don't know whether he had a hand in the kidnap of Mazin Amikano, but let's just assume he didn't have. He betrayed. His betrayal is afterthoughts. That means after everything has fallen in place, and things have happened, he now thought about it. The opportunity before me now, since I have stupid Biafrans who cannot ask questions about the funds, who cannot ask questions about things. Whatever you tell them, they believe, and when you tell them, they forget about it. Tomorrow they continue their lives, and I can always manipulate to make money from them. So now I can cash into the situation and make things for myself. That is his idea and his operation, and he has capitalized into that to actually deceive and manipulate so many people. Now let's just say now that he doesn't have a hand in the kidnap and extraordinary rendition of Mazin Amikano. Let's just assume that he actually started his own betrayal after they have kidnapped him, saw an opportunity, and decided to cash into the opportunity. Don't you see now that for us to have evidence and for us to have a fact-finding committee, we'll be able to even link all of these afterthought betrayal, all of these to the actual kidnap of Mazin Amikano, because everything revolves around the kidnap of Mazin Amikano. Everything happening now, including in Biafra land, including with the governors, including with everybody. Somebody was mentioning Ifeanyi Ubah, this, blah, blah, that they are the ones who kidnapped Mazin Amikano. For God's sake, don't mention. You can have your insinuations and your findings based on your personal stuff. I can have my findings. That doesn't make it formidable. That doesn't make it national. That is not an evidence or a complete proof. We need other evidences and facts from other places. And that's why a fact-finding committee is very, very important, where people will come in from all over the place, bringing their facts, bringing their ideas, bringing their concepts, bringing their evidences, bringing their exhibits, bringing them together and submitting them before the fact-finding committee. I said that in that fact-finding committee, we should have at least 3 or 4 people who are not Biafrans, but professionals, who are investigators, who are professional investigators, who have background of security, who are professionals. Bring them into this, and then we can have the rest. Maybe 11 of them, because 15-man committee is good. 11 of them, others Biafrans, and professionals, not people who are having a particular, who are henchmen, or who have loyalty to some other people or some group of people. Not such kinds of people. Now I've seen an e-frog here say his name or her name is Happy Ume. Continue your e-frog business. Just come here, comment what you like, and get off. I didn't come here for people like you. Your brain is backwards. So now that is what it is. The fact-finding committee, and then you have result. You have result. That's just it. So you guys must understand this. You guys must understand this. So it is important that we get these things set and get result. Get result. So all these follow here, follow this one, you are supporting this one, you are supporting that. Some of you say they are supporting DOS, some of you say they are supporting um, autopilot, which I have told you that autopilot is just a function. It has nothing to do with the name itself has nothing to do with any people. Because when Mazin Amdekanu said we are on autopilot mode, he was talking about a function, the function that is evident right now. What is happening right now, it has nothing to do with people. He was not talking about a group of people. He was talking about an action being carried out at a particular time, or the right time that a particular action is being carried out. And when he talked about the new dimension, he's talking about the autopilot function as at the time of which is going to emanate after he's kidnapped and all of that. Of course, basically, the autopilot mode comes in after Mazin Amkano was kidnapped, because we started carrying out actions on our own, but not being coordinated anyways. Now, the person whom we supported then to coordinate now has betrayed, run around and giving himself titles, and of course, and all of that, and of course, with his rogue team, that's Simon Ekpa. Now, as autopilot mode, what happens is that because the function has been designed to bring about results and to restore Biafra and to do the right thing, all that happens is that that's part of the function is discarded, and the people must come together. What we are doing under the accountability and transparency group is to set up a structural design. It has nothing to do with who and whoever is. There are some people who are coming, who are telling us that we need a leader. That you need a leader. There's no leader now. For God's sake, what do you mean by leadership? Leadership does not mean having one person. I'm going to talk about this more maybe by next week when I get into the studio, when I'm relaxed, to talk to you and to discuss matters with you. I'm going to say so many things, especially regarding leadership. I think Biafrans must come to terms with what leadership truly is. Leadership has nothing to do with one person controlling you. That's not leadership. We have a leader already. The leader is Mazin Amdekano. Every structure we're laying out right now is for us to function in different offices to serve the purpose of our collective interest, which is freedom, and at the same time to help our leader Mazin Amdekano to be out and also to achieve the results Chukwokeke gave to him. That's what it is. So leadership is not when you put... Now, if we, in accountability group now, put somebody up as a leader, that means we have displaced Mazin Amdekano. That's what it means. So we don't need that leadership position in the sense of enthroning one person. We have seen what enthroning one person does. You see what happened with Simon. You see how Simon has misbehaved. He's an arrogant person naturally. He has this arrogance and he's not well trained. So that alone, people didn't consider attitude. He pretended for a long time. People didn't really consider, because if you look deeply, he's arrogant the way he behaves and all of that. People didn't consider. And yes, when you give people who opportunity to see monies that they have not seen before. They hustle, they traveled out to hustle for money and all of that. And suddenly, knowing that abroad, you need to hustle very well. And suddenly, money begins to come from left and right center, without, and of course, and all of that. From Biafrans, contributing, just come and do launching, and then they will come with so much money and give to you. These are the things. And so those kinds of money come is, and of course, when you don't have self-control. The self-control. There's somebody who's telling me that I'm looking for money. How much have I not seen in this life? If I tell you the money I've touched, I don't like coming to talk about such kinds of things and bragging, But anyways, money does not move us. That's what I'll tell those people who think that we have come for money. We are coming to set a structure. If we are coming for money, then I would cash into that stupid opportunity. Let me call it a stupid opportunity. I'll cash into that stupid opportunity. They were telling me that when the currency on my face will be on the currency, I'll cash into that opportunity, because money is I need money. When you put my face on the currency, at least it's an achievement, and to give me more opportunity to steal from you, dear friends. Of course. So if I had ulterior motive, that's a very big opportunity for. How many of you were told that your face will be on the coin of Biafra? Wouldn't you be happy? Some of you, if you are given the opportunity, you will even betray everybody. But I stood my ground. I said, no, we don't need our faces on the Biafra currency. We can put the faces of people like Opigo, like Margaret Ekpo, and so many people like that. The faces of people who have worked and done great things for Biafra. We're going to put those faces. Those are the kinds of people we can put. Not our face, put someone's face, put my face, put Azuka's face. No, we don't need all those nonsense. So telling me that we also could put your face in a coin, one of the Biafra coin, you can't bribe me with all this information. My money we never see before. My money we never see before. Money is just to solve problems. It changes. It doesn't do anything for you other than solve problems. For you to be able to meet problems and solve problems. So you can always get it. So you must not betray to get it. Those of you who are going into kidnapping and betraying to get it. Some of you who for the fact that some of you are just there supporting this criminality of Simon and Co. means that if you are given the opportunity, the opportunity to have your face on the currency, oh, you have grabbed it. So if you say I'm a criminal, why didn't I grab that opportunity that you call opportunity? Just like one idiot was saying that it's pride that is my problem. I refuse to put my face on the currency, and you say it's pride. The person who is forcing his face to be on the currency, is he not the one that's having pride? Because he wants to be everywhere. Simon and Azuka, who were just forcing, and Ngozi Rabuezi and Oge, those who want to put their face on the currency, are they not the ones you're going to say have pride? You can't talk about someone who says, no, don't put my face on the currency. We have to do the right thing. You don't say that person has pride. That means you are a stupid person. You are looking for. This is the same person who came to meet me and one time and said he wants to get through to Simon, and all of that. Now he has worked his way through by lies and calling Simon's name, everything, looking for attention, and thinking that he could now talk to Simon, and he wants to come in because he wants to get that stuff. So he wants to use that as a means of calling me a criminal and all of that. I am smarter than that. I am more professional than that. I am very effective more than that. So when we have such kinds of things, we have to understand that these things are very, very critical, and all of that. These things are very, very critical. So I'm very, very, very desperate for us, but we're going to set the structure. If it's about criminality and money, then the structure I'm going to set will have nothing to do with transparency, because the only way I can stop myself from stealing for a transparent, structure. You don't tell somebody who is trying to build a transparent structure that the person is a criminal. He will make sure the structure is not transparent. Why is Simon operating on a structure that's not transparent? Because he's a criminal. If he's not a criminal, he has lived abroad, he knows how things work. He knows that Biafra wants is a Biafra of transparency. Why is he building a narrative of opaque narrative, having an opaque nature, show transparency, and using it as a means of telling you that he's going to restore Biafra? How can you restore a transparent nation with something that's not transparent? It doesn't make sense. So if he is not a criminal, let the monies not go through Azuka. Why a defense minister or finance minister? And they know that if they remove Azuka from finance and somebody else takes over, they will not be able to account for the things that they have stolen. And so he had to give Azuka the two portfolio. He gave her defense and finance minister, assistant finance minister and defense minister. So that as assistant finance minister, she will still be in charge of the funds because the money is coming to the husband's account. And then the person who is the defense minister, who was there fronting as defense minister then, finance minister, which was Oge, will just be there, bearing the name finance minister. All they do is collect money from him because he was given his money. And of course, he's desperate for position and title. So he was given, I know what was happening there. And so they were struggling because Azuka is controlling the group that they called Biafra Liberation Army, the small group of people that they are using to steal money from you. So Azuka is controlling those people, and Azuka also is using the funds to control them. And Azuka is in charge of the funds because the money is going to Azuka's husband's account. And Azuka is also part of those who control the monies and get the monies and share as they get, according to the percentage they have laid down. So if she's removed from finance, there will be a loophole. They have to put somebody else. That means she will not be in charge of the finance. The money will not go to the husband's account anymore. If she's kept on as a minister or secretary of defense alone, she will be controlling ESN. Not ESN, the so-called Liberation Army, without controlling funds. And of course, he who controls the funds, of course, could tell what is being expended and all of that. And so far, so good. It will backfire. All these things they're doing will backfire. But the truth about it is that they have stolen so much that they don't know how to give separate. So they have to move her totally now to finance. And but she's still controlling the so-called Liberation Army, using the group people like Success and Chika and other people, and Gaddafi, who they say that criminal. Criminals surrounded. Oh Lord have mercy, everything is a mess. I want to thank you anyways. Tomorrow I'm going to be here. I'm going to be talking about the issue of the voice message, and at the same time giving you some vital information on that, so that you will know what is happening. You will know more what is happening. We are resolute. We are setting a structure that nobody controls. That is what Biafra needs. Not a structure where one person will always manipulate. That is how they did it and all of that. Somebody like Nelly came in and began to show power. And some Bridget came in, they began to show power. And Madame Oyibo came in, they began to show power. They are controlling the resources because there was no strict and powerful structure that makes no one person important. That makes everybody important. Today they're talking about important people who will pay $250 to make and they're talking about people like you, some of you who who don't look at one idiot asking how many people are watching me. What are you doing here? If I'm not important, why are you here? You don't come to somebody who is not important. You don't come to their platform because I'm important. You are coming to watch me. Later, people are going to watch you. An idiot. So leave so that we can have two people left. Idiots like you. You don't reason. If you reason, you think of what I'm saying, not how many people are watching. If I want people to watch, I'll just go and support Simon, as Raf and Co did, and as Ogdikema also did, to get viewership. And when he saw that they were not giving him portfolio, he now began to talk rubbish. If I want viewership, I'll just go and I'll begin to tell you lies. I'll begin to tell you lies. But some of you are just stupid. You like to live. That's why you can never get freedom. And one day you become a victim of your lies. You know, idiot. See somebody coming to tell me he didn't even listen to the broadcast to get sense. He's coming to tell me 1 million people watching. Go away so that it could remain 500,000. Idiot. So thank you all, dear friends. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be here again. I'm going to feed you more information, and we're going to be talking about the issue of Mazen and Kanu and the fact-finding committee. We must talk about it, and this is the time to set that. We're going to set up that. We're going to get results. Honestly, we're going to get a result. And if the DOS really want to be real, if they know that their hands are free from the kidnap of Mazen and Kanu, they should toe the line of the fact-finding committee, because some of them know that fact-finding committee will indict some of them. That is why they are not going for it. But we must get it right. Thank you all. I appreciate you. God bless you. Very good. Stay safe. When I get to studio, we'll now continue the normal everyday broadcast. For now, I'll be here tomorrow again, and then maybe, before that, I'll be in studio by next week. I'll be at my location, my real location. Not this one is not fake location, anyways, but I'm somewhere doing some stuff, so I have to be there to talk to you and give you some information. It's important. You can see my environment. This is like a garden. Beautiful place, lovely place, catching the groove of nature, enjoying the groove of nature. And of course, I want to appreciate you guys. Those of you watching, please share this video, like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Let's spread the good news. Truth will grow and truth will get root, and then we're going to get our freedom on the basis of truth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. Very good. Stay good. Stay safe.